Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping straight into, well, the heart of emotional songwriting, but also looking at the commercial side.
Yeah, we've got some really interesting source material here on Vincent Mason's track, Damned If I Do.
Exactly. We have the creative notes, the lyrical breakdown, and then right after that, the context, how it actually hit the radio.
It's a great setup because you see this intense, almost self-destructive personal story.
Right.
And then how it gets packaged and, put out there as a product.
So our goal here is kind of synthesizing those two things, the raw feeling in the lyrics and the business side of the album launch.
Precisely. It gives you a shortcut, really, to understanding the art and the commerce behind it, how a feeling becomes a single.
And actually, before we even dig into the words, those sonic details in the notes are pretty striking. The bookends to the song.
Oh, yeah, the sound design. It starts with, what was it, a vehicle arriving, muted voices?
Uh-huh. And then right at the very end, after the music's gone, you hear a really clear car door slam and the engine turning on.
It's clever framing, isn't it? It sort of sets the scene where the song itself is this moment of, internal crisis suspended in time.
Yeah, like the arrival and the voices happen just before or maybe just after something big.
And then that engine sound at the end. Well, that's movement, isn't it? Potential movement, anyway.
Which is fascinating because the song itself is all about being completely stuck.
Yeah.
Emotionally, physically. Just stuck.
Exactly. So the sound design almost challenges the paralysis in the lyrics. It suggests something has to happen eventually.
Like the world keeps moving, even if he doesn't want to.
Or maybe the wider album narrative is pushing towards that departure. The car has to move at some point.
Okay, so let's unpack that core feeling. The title nails it. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Just pure emotional gridlock.
Yeah, it's not just sadness. It's this idea that any action equals pain, so the only choice left is doing nothing. Paralysis.
And he makes it really concrete, doesn't he? It's not abstract angst.
Not at all. He grounds it physically. I ain't left the house. Simple, direct. That's his world now. The walls of his own head, basically.
And even more specific, right? He says he's stuck in the same damn spot as the night you left.
Oh, that line. Yeah, it's like he's frozen in that exact moment of abandonment, a living monument to it.
It's being completely chained to the past. And he even seems to know he should break free.
Right. He acknowledges the need to escape, but then he just rejects it. That line, he should get over you, so I guess I won't.
Yeah, I guess I won't. It's so
totally.
final, almost defiant. It makes you want to grab the guy and shake him.
It really does. It's the sound of surrender, but an active surrender. He chooses to stay broken because maybe it feels more familiar or easier.
And the justification comes right after. The backstory. This wasn't just some casual thing that went wrong.
No, this was apparently catastrophic. Rockin' my world, burning it down. That's huge, overwhelming language.
It sets up the next line perfectly, the self-diagnosis. Fell too hard to fix it now.
Exactly. If you believe you're fundamentally broken, beyond repair, then staying put suddenly seems, well, logical in a twisted way.
So the initial verses establish this wreckage, not just as a state, but as his permanent address.
That's a great way to put it. It's not temporary, it's his chosen home, which leads us nicely into how he talks about the source of all this pain.
Right. Let's get into section 2. Some really memorable, punchy language about the ex-partner here. It shifts from pure self-pity towards something else.
Yeah, that key phrase, Hall of Fame heartbreaker. We have to talk about that one.
It's brilliant, isn't it? So harsh, but also kind of weirdly admiring.
Well, that's the thing. By calling her a Hall of Famer, it elevates the whole experience. It makes the heartbreak legendary.
Hang on, why would he do that? If she broke him so completely, why give her that kind of, status? It seems counterintuitive.
It does, but think about it psychologically. If the person who destroyed you is just some average, cruel person, you kind of feel like a fool, right?
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
But if she's this, mythic force of destruction, a Hall of Famer, then your pain isn't just pathetic. It's justified. It's almost grand. It's a way to cope, maybe, disguised as an insult.
Huh. Okay. Turning personal disaster into a kind of dark legend? That makes sense. But the problem is, this legend won't leave him alone.
No, even though she's physically gone, her presence is everywhere. She's completely embedded in his life, like a ghost he can't exorcise.
The lyrics really paint that picture, like she's controlling his state of mind. In my high, you're in my drink.
So even trying to escape through substances just brings her back. She is the substance, in a way.
And then the flip side, right here when I'm sober.
No escape. It's the ultimate haunting. And summed up by that killer line, you ain't here, but you won't leave.
Wow. Yeah, absence being more powerful than presence. That keeps him right there, in the same damn spot.
And notice how he describes the breakup itself. It's not just emotional pain, it's really physical, almost violent imagery.
Yeah, the source says she ripped the damn thing right out my chest.
That's visceral. Totally. It takes it from abstract sadness to, like, a physical wound, something needing immediate, drastic attention.
So you combine that violent memory, the chest being ripped out, with this ghost who's in his drink, in his head. No wonder he just gives up the fight.
Yeah, the surrender feels inevitable at that point, and he basically screams it outright. Damn right, I'm a damn mess.
Total self-awareness, but zero intention to change.
And then the final nail in the coffin of hope. This is about as good as it's gonna get. That's it. He's not fighting the wreckage anymore. He's moved in, settled down there.
Okay, and this is the pivot point in our source material. We go from that incredibly raw, personal low point
straight into the machinery of the music industry. The tragedy becomes a product.
Yeah, we shift from him trapped in the house to the song being launched out into the world via radio.
The source jumps right to a radio clip. Stormy Warren sharing brand new music, hot off the presses. Talk about contrast.
The industry is all about moving forward, new releases, excitement, while the character in the song is defined by not moving.
And this is where looking at the rollout gives us that little insight, that aha moment. We've just immersed ourselves in Damned If I Do, in the feeling of being stuck.
Right, that paralysis. But remember that sound cue, the engine starting. It kind of hints at something else.
Exactly. And the source clarifies this beautifully. Damned If I Do is the hook. It's the raw, relatable pain meant to grab you.
But it's not the title of the whole project.
No. The radio host, Stormy Warren, specifically introduces the new album as being called There I Go.
And he even points out that the track called There I Go is the title track, not Damned If I Do.
And that distinction is key. Damned If I Do captures the crisis moment, the absolute bottom, the refusal to move.
Right.
But naming the album There I Go signals, well, it signals movement, an eventual departure, a change, something happening next.
So the album's narrative arc promises to move beyond the paralysis of the single.
It suggests that, yeah, the crisis depicted in the single is just the starting point for whatever journey the album takes. Even if the character says, I guess I won't, the album title itself says, well, eventually, there I go.
It sets up this tension between the snapshot of the single and the implied story of the album, the internal state versus the external push.
Spot on. The internal truth is despair, stasis. The external reality, the market, needs a story, a progression. There I Go promises that progression, even if we don't know yet if it's a good one.
All right, let's try and bring this home for you, the listener. We've traced this path through the sources.
Yeah, starting with that really specific painful paralysis and Damned If I Do, being stuck, the self-confessed wreckage.
And then pivoting to the wider context, the radio promo announcing the album. There I Go.
We saw that powerful picture of emotional standstill slammed right up against the industry's need for movement, for a narrative arc, signaled by the album title and maybe even foreshadowed by that engine noise.
Art versus commerce, almost. The rock-bottom moment versus the story of what comes next.
Which leaves us with something interesting for you to think about, maybe as you listen.
Yeah, a final thought to chew on. If Damned If I Do is that moment of being totally stuck, where he defiantly says, I guess I won't get over you.
What kind of journey does that album title, There I Go, actually suggest is coming?
Is it a healthy departure? Is he finally moving on?
Or is There I Go maybe the start of just moving into a different kind of mess, a different kind of self-destruction, just on the move this time? Does that engine finally take him somewhere, or just further down the same road?
It definitely sets up questions for the rest of the album. Lots to unpack there.
Always is.
Okay, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Vincent Mason's emotional core and how it meets the market. We'll catch you next time.